No, no, he's just. Oh, here we go. All right, WNHL 95. We got the owner of the Richfield Oracles, Blair. First question: what got you into NHL 95 over any other game that you've played?
Took place in St. Paul, Minnesota. We came off from a night of drinking. We invaded my older brother's house. And there we tore open a door that led into a hallway that exposed a Sega Genesis. And they had an NHL 95 cartridge there. It was the year 2001. So we played that. And then we thought, well, hell, shit ass, man. We hooked this up to my brother's TV. We should make a tournament out of NHL 95. Even though it was 2001 or 2 or 3. I can't remember what year. So then we played tournaments ever since then. That's all we do. We just play tournaments. That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's your biggest rival in our league as of right now?
Well, my big rival is Judd.
Gaelic Gopher, if anyone's wondering.
Gaelic Gopher. And then my second one is Nick Savo. And then my third.
Segathon, if anyone's wondering who that is.
So I got stories on all three of them.
So what is your dirtiest, darkest story of NHL 95?
So here's the deal. You guys ready to hear this shit?
So this is the dark side of 95. I think it's going to get pretty dark.
So one time, Gaelic Gopher, his name is Judd. We've been friends since grade school. So one time I drove up to his house after an intense Sega tournament. He just bought this house, and I had to drop something off. So anyways, I got in my car, and I heard something in the back of his yard. He's got a big yard, you see. So I'm like, oh, well, I got this t-shirt of Judd, so I got to return it to him. So then I went around like his garage, and I saw it. Judd was torturing a fellow 95 hockey player. So this kid's name, I peeked my head around the corner, like, what the fuck is going on here? So I peeked my head around the corner of his garage, because, I had this t-shirt to return to him. But then I realized it's this fucking kid who Judd's got strapped in a fucking chair. His name is Sturgy. He graduated actually a year ahead of us. But he looks like Judd. The problem was with this Sturgy kid is that he ate his own vomit out of a pitcher. And everyone assumed it was Judd. So Judd got really pissed off about this. So then, I was returning the shirt to Judd, and I looked around, and there's Judd. He's got Sturgy in this fucking chair. And he's got a fucking Sega Genesis remote controller stuck up his fucking ass. And a Sega and a TV, had the Sega thing. And Judd's like, fuck you, Sturgy. Everyone thinks I look like you. That I fucking ate my vomit. And I was appalled by the situation. Oh, shit. Shh. I'm good. Shh, that's him. Don't tell him the story. But I'll tell you the rest of it here. So I was well, I'm making sure Judd's not, watching me.
Judd's not there.
All right, good. So I was watching. I didn't make a sound. So Judd was like, Sturgy, everyone thinks I look like you and I ate vomit. And he's really pissed off about it. And Sturgy's like, I didn't try, Judd. He's like, too bad. And so the Sega controller he stuck up his ass was and then also connected to a Sega Genesis on the TV. Every time he downbeat, he electrocuted him. So he downbeat, he's like, fuck you, Sturgy. And he fucking down beat his ass. And every time I saw it, it was like an electric volt during Sturgy. And all this time I was like thinking, man, that's not fair. Sturgy didn't do shit. But I didn't want to say anything.
We're doing the dark side of 95.
Yeah.
It's the interview.
Andy Holland. So it's like, man, you shouldn't be electrocuting him. But I didn't say it because I thought I'd be in trouble. So Judge like, you think people think I'm Sturgy? And he down beat his ass again. And then fucking Sturgy's head exploded like brains all over the fucking trees. All over the trees. So then that's where it's like, Judd laughed, fuck you, one-timer. And then that's when I'm like, all right, so fuck that, I'm out of here. So I just kind of threw the t-shirt on the ground. Nobody knows that. Now you guys do. So anyways, the second story here is about Nick Saville.
Segathon, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, Segathon. So it's pretty well known that Segathon thinks he's actually living with his actual wife, but it's actually not. It's a clone of his actual wife. His actual wife is living with me, but that's been a well-known secret. I feel real bad about that because we've been living in Richfield forever. And when we talk about Richfield, I'm talking about the field of riches. Nick's wife and I, oh man, we've been on so many trips. But he like, that's the funny thing. It's like he thinks he's living with his wife, but it's not. It's like some fucking clone. What a fucking idiot.
She's actually a robot.
Yeah, she's fucking. Well, it's Nick. Nick is a fucking. He's a dumbass. So, anyways, yeah, that's like what Nick is like. His wife is actually living with me, which I'm cool with that, I guess. But then I've got Nev Campbell coming over on my second part of my. It's like the second half of the week, which is creating a very, very big complications.
So if anybody needs to know, Blair looks like Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, if you say that, my brothers. So like that's the thing Tom was saying right away. I walked in, like, dude, he looks like Tom Cruise. My brothers hate that shit.
So what was the restaurant we went to?
Lakeville Brewing Company.
So we went to the Lakeview Brewing Company. First thing I see Blair walk through the door. And I said, hey, he looks like Tom Cruise. Everyone's like, don't say that to him. I'm like, why not? They're like, 'cause he's going to go right to his head. He's going to have a story about Tom Cruise. And I said, and the first song that we played during the Segathon was actually Top Gun's Danger Zone.
Yes.
And I said, there's Tom Cruise. And then everybody was just like, don't say that to him. He's going to go to his head.
Goes to my head.
To be honest, everyone, he looks like fucking Tom Cruise.
I do not look like Tom. But here's the third story.
He acts better than him, and he's actually taller than actually.
I am taller than he is. Yes, that is true. But I got chapped lips, and I don't think he's ever had chapped lips in his life.
Well, he has. Whatever girlfriend he's been with has probably got chapped lips.
We had that Australian redheaded one. What was her name?
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman. But I don't think she's that hot.
Nah.
Oh, no. But anyway,
Campbell.
Here's my story about my brother Brandon. So he saw Autobahn. You guys want to hear a sad story about this? Are you guys seriously? You want to hear a sad story about this? Because here's what happened. So, like, Autobahn, when we were growing up, it was 5 brothers and sisters. And Autobahn didn't really have any specific skills. Like, we're all smart in some way or another.
What's yours?
Mine was people skills. I'm a people person, damn it.
He's Tom Cruise. He's Tom Cruise. He knows how to talk to people.
I am a fucking people person. So anyways, like my parents felt bad for Brandon. It's like, well, Brandon's really not that good at anything. So like, let's have Autobahn be good at Sega. So my parents bought him a Sega when he was 13 years old. And it's like, hey, Autobahn, and they called him Autobahn because he was easy to run over. We just ran his ass over all the time. It's like Autobahn, hey Brandon, do this for me. Okay, Autobahn. That's why he's called Autobahn. It's not because of the movie. It's Autobahn. So anyways, it's like, hey Autobahn, why don't you play some 95? At least that you can be good at that because he sucked at everything. He sucked at sports. He sucked at life. So then Brandon played NHL 95. And so we were like, all right, well, at least Brandon's... So, like, us brothers and I, which you probably saw earlier in the UN uniforms, we're like, all right, at least Brandon's got something. something in life. So he's got Sega 95, which I feel really bad because like there are games where like you probably see him like last Friday when I whooped his ass, and it's like because my parents are like, well, let's let him play 95 because he couldn't play any sports because he sucked at everything, and then like so his 95 was all he played. And so then, like, I felt really bad last night when I beat him. And I let him beat me today, but he won't beat me for the championship. If he makes sense. So in my so here's the thing. So Judd had killed somebody who looked like him because he vomited in his own pitcher. And Judd got
That
upset.
doesn't have a real wife.
And Judd killed him on a one-timer. His head exploded. Nick's wife actually lives with me, and he has a second wife he doesn't know about. And then Brandon was raised on NHL 95 because that's the only thing he could do in life. I'm all right. I'm sorry if I talked. Would you have any questions? I can answer questions.
You've answered pretty much them all.
I am very apologetic that I talked through the whole thing.
It's okay. That's what Dark Side of 95 is. Get your dark stories out. So, given with that Dark Side 95, that's Richfield's Oracle's owner, Blair. And this is Ultra Magnus. Enjoy your rest of your weekend.